Moving on to item number 8, presentation of the investment report, quarter ended March 31st, 2020.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. I'm Spencer Morrison, the Finance Director for City of Yuba City. And tonight I bring before you the Treasurer's, I'm also the Treasurer, the Treasurer's quarterly investment report for the quarter ending March 30th, 2020. The market value for the second quarter was $124.7 million. $113.7 million of that was in city-held funds, city-held investments, which included about $12 million in flood control agency funds, which we are the Treasury for as well. We have about a $13.9 million increase from last quarter. And the notable transactions include property tax receipts, 5th Street Bridge activity, reimbursement for claims and construction, Sutter Butte Flood Control Agency construction costs, and sales tax receipts, including and also some wastewater treatment plant improvements and bond proceeds. "13 investments matured or sold, and 6 were purchased. The average yield sold was about 1.88, and showing how the market is declining that last quarter is 1.21% average yield. Agency bonds and treasury bonds and city-held municipal and state bonds, corporate bonds made up about just under half of the portfolio. And the rest would be LAIF Camp, which is a LAIF-like a money market sort of a investment tool, CDs, corporate paper, cash, and cash-like investments made up about 53%. So our liquidity was a lot higher. Maturity distribution you see on the screen reflects a conservative portfolio that favors anticipated declining interest rates and modest to no economic growth in the coming quarters, as well as large construction-related cash flows, mostly from the flood control wastewater treatment plant at 5th Street Bridge. At the end of the quarter, just as a note, LAIF was returning about 2% still at the end of this quarter by March 30th, but currently it's about 1.7 and declining. Oh, that's it. Any questions for me?
Through the mayor.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Morrison. The only question I would have is going through the portfolio. Obviously, we are conservative because that's our investment policy. But looking at some of the corporate holdings we have underneath, have we been in discussions with our investment firm about looking at their bond ratings and stuff? Because some of those will inadvertently be affected. And do we have any that we should be concerned with at this point, or are we just monitoring the situation as it comes forward?
So we're actually monitoring. So we do have investment advisors, and they are looking at, we have 2, and the portfolio that they manage is about equal and split, and they are monitoring constantly and looking for opportunities. So far what we do expect is that our callable bonds will be called, and our corporate holding, anything that's these corporate bonds, will probably just end up maturing before anything happens. But of course, they're watching to see, we're all watching right now to see what might happen. But so far, I haven't heard anything.
Okay, and should their ratings decrease, will we be looking at putting them up on the secondary market for sale? Is that what our policy typically is?
So we don't have a policy for secondary market, but what we will, our investment advisors will just propose that we sell. They'll just put a sell to me and say, hey, this is not a good opportunity anymore. We have a better opportunity. Yeah, we would unload anything that's looking worrisome.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, any public comment by chance?
None so far.
All right. Would say note and file. Thank you very much, Spencer.